Hi and welcome to Skill 6. In this section, I'm going to talk to you about helping your IBOs to get started. Now, when you bring somebody into your business, it's incredibly important that you validate their decision. But it's also important that you set up the right expectations. So that's what this is all about. So we'll start by validating the decision. Congratulations on making the decision. I'm really proud of you. From now on, things are going to be different for you and your family. That makes them feel good. So it takes less than 2 minutes to say, hey, well done, you're awesome. You can say, I'm so grateful to have you in my team. I think we're going to do wonders together. This is going to be epic, whatever. It also alleviates their doubt. The fact that you're excited to have them on board and that you're validating their decisions makes them feel better about themselves. So they feel great. Then part 2, you've got to set their expectations. So many people in our space make the mistake of saying, hey, you don't work for me, I work for you. And I'm going to be there to help you every step of the way. And don't worry, you can get people to come around. I'll actually do the calls for you. I'll make the work. You make the money. It's insane. It doesn't work like that. So what you got to do is create the right expectation from day one. You can maybe help one person. You can maybe help 10 people. But you got 50 people in your team and you can forget about it. So if your people are not independent, you're sunk. So you start off by saying, if you succeed in this business, it's going to be you who creates the success, not me. If you fail in this business, it's going to be you who creates the failure, not me. You're going to be the difference between success and failure. I'm here to guide you every step of the way, but I can't do it for you. I'm here to work with you, but not for you. Can we agree on that? Can you see you're getting the person to agree that the success and failure of his business is in his or her hands? End of story. Step number 2 in this, you're going to say, my job is to help you become independent from me as quickly as possible. Do you agree that's a good goal? And then you tie this all up beautifully. There will be certain ups and downs as you build your business. There'll be good times and bad times. I'll know when you're going through one of the bad times, when you aren't calling me, you aren't showing up for meetings, you aren't on the Zoom calls, or if you start making excuses. When that happens with you, and it happens with everybody, how do you want me to handle it? Do you want me to leave you alone, or do you want me to persist and remind you why you made the decision in the first place? So guys, just look at this from an outside perspective or a 30,000-foot view. If you succeed in this business, it's you who succeeds. If you fail, it's your fault. Can we agree on that? Yes. And then when things go hard, can I call you out on it? Yes, you can. Fantastic. Now we've set the expectations. In part 3, you need to make sure that your new IBO is using the products, has sample products if they're available, has access to the company tools, and knows how to do a professional connection. So here we go. You have 6 weeks to get your people started. You haven't got them up and running in 6 weeks, they're gone. They're gone. You won't get them going again. They'll leave the business, they will never join again. This is a critical time for you. So you need to be on this. Make sure that your new IBO has a plan to complete the training, get their first customer, get their first IBOs, attend their first company events, earn their first commissions. So that's your job, to help them get through those things. Once they are there, the rest of the business is simple because they know how to do it. Their belief is locked in. They're up and running. So let's start with getting them to commit to acknowledging the importance of completing the training. If they are not trained, they will not succeed. And they need to admit that. They need to say to you, yes, I understand that if I don't get trained, I'm not going to succeed. So you're saying to them, listen, I need you independent. You'll agree with me that you have to do the training in order to become independent. Yes. And can I ask you to commit 100% to getting this training done as quickly as possible? They say yes. You say, excellent. We're going to get this training done in segments. So we complete the training online. Now, the way it works is the training is divided into 6 segments. And you say to them, we're going to watch the next segment, and we're going to then interrogate the process. So this is the way it goes. Hey, Jim, we're going to start off with segment 1. It's 2 videos. You'll find it in your back office under the training, under the e-learning system. Let me show you how to get there. Okay, you know how to get there. Excellent. When do you think you'll be able to watch those first videos? They say to you, I'll watch them tonight. You say, excellent. So if I call you tomorrow, you'll have watched them, right? They say, yes. What time should I give you a call? 10 o'clock in the morning. Awesome. I'll call you at 10 o'clock in the morning. When you phone them up, you interrogate them. You make sure there's a report back so you know that they understand what's going on. and you practice any of the scripts that are happening. So whatever scripts are there, you practice them so that you know that they know how to use the scripts. And you might even do it in the real world, but you make sure that they understand whatever was in that initial training session. Now remember, you've got the manual, they've got the manual. The video's online, so you go through the manual with them, you make sure they understand everything, you practice the scripts, and then you take them onto the next section. You say, okay, we're going to do section number 2. Jim, when do you think you're going to be able to handle section number 2? They say, I'll be able to do it tonight again. So if I call you tomorrow, you'll have done it for sure, right? They say, yes. What time should I call you? 10 a.m. Awesome. I'll give you a call. And you go through the same process. Now, you have to get these guys through the process of the training as quickly as possible. If you do this training over 6 weeks, you've lost them. You need to do this training in the first week that they join. Get them into the training, get them doing the training, interrogate them. If you can do the training over a 5-day period, so you can do all 5 sessions in 5 days, you've got them up and running. That is fantastic. So that should be your goal. Then use the scripts in the real world. So you might even get on a 3-way call with Jim, and Jim says to you, I want to call my friend Gary. You say, okay, let's call Gary up. So you phone up Gary, say, listen, I'm sitting here with Jim. We don't have a lot of time, but he said to me, you were the best person I could call on this. If I send you a link about the business Jim has just joined, would you take a look at it? He says, yes, sure. When do you think you'll have to look at it for sure? He says, tonight. So if Jim gives you a call tomorrow, Gary, you would have looked at it for sure, right? He says, yes, fantastic. What time should Jim call you? He says, call me at 10 o'clock. Awesome. Thanks for your time. Got to run. Cheers. Put the phone down. Practice it with Jim a few times, then get Jim to phone the next person and listen in. And keep on doing that until he's got it down. Now, we do the same thing with getting a customer. Now, the first thing is before you get a customer, you need to be using the products yourself. So make sure that Jim is using the products. Make sure that your new recruit is using the products from day one. As part of your onboarding, get him to order the first products. Or if the products come with a starter kit, get him to start using the products. Next, if there are any samples, make sure that they've got the samples, that your prospects immediately get the samples. Once they sign up, buy the samples. Then, make sure that they have access to all the company tools, so they know how to access their back office. They know how to get to the training. They know how to find their link for the e-commerce website. They know where to find their leads. They know where to find everything in the back office, how to see their reports, how to see what commissions they've earned, how to access their cash. Make sure they understand how to do the initial product connection. Now remember, they've just gone through the training. So you can now sit with them and say, okay, who do you think would like the products? I say, Mary. Say, excellent, let's give Mary a call. 2 of you do it together. Hey, Mary, Richard here. I'm sitting with Jim. He's just started this new business. We've got this incredible product range. We don't have a lot of time to talk now, but if I send you a link about the products, would you take a look at it? Yes, I take a look at it. When do you think you'll take a look at it for sure? I'll look at it tonight. Fantastic. So if Jim calls you tomorrow, you'll have looked at it for sure, right? Yes, I would. What time should he call you? 10 o'clock. Excellent. Jim will get hold of you then. Thanks for your time. Cheers. Put the phone down. Do you see how that works? Make sure you've practiced that initial connection with them 100 times. Then make sure they understand how to achieve that second connection. So if I phone you at 10 o'clock on Wednesday, you would have watched it for sure, right? Excellent. I'll see you then. And then make sure that they know how to leverage their e-commerce website. So Mary says, well, that was awesome. The product was incredible. I think it's fantastic. There's my link. Let's click on the link. Let's get you online. Let's get this going. Okay, then getting your first 2 IBOs is the same thing. Understand the timing of the fast start bonus. So there's a real incentive to get going fast because you have the fast start bonus. If you sign up your first 2 people within a certain amount of time, you get paid out a cash bonus. Make sure that your people understand the fast start bonus so that they go out there aggressively looking for their first 2 IBOs. Next, know how to achieve the initial connection. So it's again the same thing. Hey, Gary, it's Jim here. Don't have a lot of time to talk, but I've just started this new business and I think you would be amazing for it. If I send you a link, would you take a look at it? Make sure they understand how to use the company tools, how to find the links, how to use the training, everything related to registration. They need to know how to use those things. then know how to achieve the subsequent connections, and then know how to ask the 4 closing questions. Now, we just did the 4 closing questions, so you need to go over that 100 times with them so that you are 100% sure that they know how to ask those questions. And they're simple. Gary, how much money do you need to earn for this to be worth your while? How many hours are you prepared to put in it each week? How many months would you do that for? And then, so Gary, if I can show you how to earn X amount of rands, doing X amount of weeks over X amount of months, you'd be in, right? Yes, I would. Excellent. Here's the link. Let's get you registered. And then know how to deal with objections. Go through the objections with them. Practice those objections. That's all part of the training. Then attending events is incredibly important. We're going to be doing that in the next skill, but make sure that they've booked their tickets for the next event. And if they bring in their partner with, make sure that the partner's ticket is booked as well. Make sure they understand how important the company events are. Incredible things happen at company events. Make sure they understand it. Make sure they purchase the ticket for the next company event for themselves and their partner. Now, there's a huge difference between failure and success. And remember, if people fail in this business, it must be in spite of you, not because of you. So why people fail? Number one, they got no direction. They don't know where they're going. And that's up to you to make sure that they've got direction. They got no customers. If a person doesn't have any customers, why would they stay in the business? They have no recruits. If a person doesn't have a downline, they don't stay in the business. They're not going to the events. The events are one of the number one things that keep people in the business. They're not getting promoted. They've got no commissions. People aren't earning money, they leave. They've got no friends in the business. You know, having a social connection with the people around you and the people in your team is so important, because people will stay in the business purely because they want to be part of the social scene. So you have people who join the business and will stay in the business just purely for the social side of it. Then there's those people who keep their business a secret. Well, holy moly. If you keep your business a secret, how on earth are you going to make any money? And you're out the business, of course. And then if they don't receive recognition, that's really one quick way of losing them. So you must recognize absolutely everything that your people do on a regular basis. Now, success is built on knowing what is expected of them so that they can go out and do it. Remember, people are not lazy. People work their guts out every day at jobs. So they're not lazy. All they need to know is what is expected of them, how to achieve that, and then they will do it. Get their first customers. So you help them get their first customers and they will be in the success bracket. Get their first IBOs. Again, that success keeps them in the business. Attend their first company events. I promise you that will blow them away. Getting promoted to a new rank. That's definitely a huge one. If you can get them up a couple of ranks, get them recognized for that. Excellent. Earning their first commission checks. That's a huge one. We found that people who earn their first commission checks within 6 weeks stay in the business about 85% of the time, and people who don't leave the business about 80% of the time. Then making friends inside the organization. It's up to you to create that connection. Remember, there's a relationship happening here. You need to have a relationship with this person. You need to get them connecting with your people. You need to make sure that they feel part of something bigger than themselves, that there's a real social clique around them. And that is your job, to create that social environment and make their intentions public. They need to announce to everybody that they're doing this business. They mustn't be ashamed of it or shy of it or keep it a secret. They must announce it to everyone. And then being recognized. You need to recognize them. The company needs to recognize them. They need to be recognized for what's happening. And that is the difference between failure and success. Now, a person might stay in here for one of these. They might stay in just because they're earning commission, or because they've got some people into the business that they feel responsible for, or because they've made a bunch of friends. But if all of them are missing, you're definitely going to lose them, 100% for sure. In this section, we've discovered that you need to validate the decision. You need to set the expectations. You need to make sure that they're using the product. You need to make sure that the IBO has a plan and is working the plan. You need to focus them on getting their first customers and IBOs. You need to book them for the upcoming event. You need to get them across the line, because if you do that, they will be in your business for years to come. So that's it for Skill 6. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be looking at Skill 7 next.